Hello and welcome to Liberty Nation's LNTV. Well, it's all about sex scandals and privacy invasions over at the Mormon institution, Brigham Young University. Who's in the right? Is privacy actually being violated? Here to help us navigate the murky waters is not Pierre Delecto or Mitt Romney, but Scott DeCosenza, Liberty Nation's legal affairs editor. Welcome, Scott.
Hi, Mark. Thank you.
Scott, you're reporting on this lawsuit from BYU. In a brief encapsulation, what's happening?
This is a years-long battle over records that the BYU Police Department sent to the BYU Honor Code Office, and the fight for the release of that information by reporters looking to discover exactly what communications were sent.
So, Scott, the BYU Police Department is not a real police department, though. That's a university police department of paid employees, correct?
Well, they're very much real, Mark. They have police powers in the state of Utah and can make an arrest just like a Salt Lake City police officer could. They just happen to be private employees of this university, but they're expected to comport themselves just like any municipal police officer, paid police officer would be. They take the same oath. They're subject to the same accreditation standards as any other police officer would be. So that's where they are.
So I believe what this stems from is that students who perhaps reported some possible sexual misconduct or sexual crimes against them were chastised in some ways or punished by the university.
Let me stop you there, Mark, and say what the reason for all the kerfuffle beyond the actual privacy violation itself is what we've seen is, for instance, a female student wishes to engage in some limited sexual activity with a partner, but doesn't wish to actually have full-on intercourse, and is then sexually assaulted, but then believes that she can't complain about the assault because if her complaint is filed with the police for the rape, they will then forward to the Honor Code the information that she willingly engaged in some other limited sexual activity, which is a violation of the Honor Code, and she'll then be kicked out of school. The same is true with alcohol consumption. You can imagine an instance where a woman or man agrees to consume alcohol with another student. These are college students after all. And then there becomes some other heinous act or criminal behavior that they then feel they can't report or can only report at the great shame of losing their college career because it's a violation of the Honor Code. And this is a years-long struggle that the Salt Lake City Tribune has been in to try to uncover what those communications were from the police department to the Honor Code Office.
And what about the latest filing, Scott?
Well, Mark, BYU, the state of Utah has gone so far as to pass a special law to resolve any ambiguity about whether BYU's police department was covered under the open records laws of the state of Utah. They passed that law. Now BYU being ordered again by a state agency to overturn these emails to understand what the breadth of the disclosure was. They're saying that in a brand new argument that FERPA or the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act prevents them from disclosing it because it's like a student record.
Okay, and how's this going to resolve itself, Scott? Is there an end in sight, or is it something that's going to proceed to litigation back and forth?
Oh, I think that eventually they're going to be dragged kicking and screaming before a judge who will demand that they actually produce these emails, and they will be forced to produce them. That's my prediction, but we're going to have to wait and see how the Utah courts suss it all out.
Thank you very much, Mr. Scott DeCosenza. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Mark.
And thanks to you at home for watching. If you learned a little something, if you enjoyed it, click like and subscribe down below, or even better, head over to libertynation.com, where we have a whole host of articles, TVs, radios, podcasts, the whole works. Hope to see you there.